Man, look, I woke up seeing that post and I just shook my head. I said, here he go. 50 Cent is the super villain of the internet, dog. He really the Thanos of this rap game, I'm telling you. When that man get quiet, that's when you need to start praying.
Boosie recently stepped into the conversation after 50 Cent openly called out T.I. and Tiny, setting off a massive wave of discussion across social media. In a post that immediately caught the internet's attention, 50 Cent hinted that he might be working on a documentary project centered around the controversies that have followed the couple over the years. He even suggested that they might want to consider bringing in a serious crisis PR team to deal with the attention. The message spread rapidly online, with fans arguing over whether 50 Cent was simply expressing his opinion or deliberately stirring up another major headline in the entertainment world. At the same time, T.I. had just appeared on the Ebro, Laura, and Rosenberg show, where he discussed multiple ongoing topics within the music industry while also addressing some of the conversations currently surrounding him. Around that same period, fellow King of the South artist Moneybagg Yo also participated in interviews where he spoke about the Miss Jackson record, sharing his own perspective on how the situation developed and how 50 Cent eventually became part of the discussion. Not long after those interview clips began circulating across the internet, 50 Cent posted a message that quickly grabbed public attention before it was reportedly taken down. In that post, he hinted that T.I. could soon be facing renewed questions about previously reported legal allegations that have already been widely discussed in public conversations. He also once again mentioned the idea of bringing in a crisis PR team as the media tour continued. Even though the post itself was brief, it immediately triggered another wave of speculation online. Many people began debating the timing of the message and trying to figure out what exactly 50 Cent was implying. During the same discussion, 50 Cent also referenced the release of new music, which some viewers interpreted as a subtle nod toward the promotional run connected to T.I.'s latest appearance.
That's when you need to check your windows and doors, cause he in the lab cooking up destruction. He talking about he got a surviving T.I. and Tiny Doc? Man, that is diabolical. That's cold-blooded. And mentioning the Diddy situation in the same breath, he basically telling T.I., yeah, I'm the one that started the fire.
During those interviews, T.I. reportedly explained that certain reactions from people around him happened on their own and were not something he personally directed. He made it clear that he didn't instruct anyone to respond on his behalf. According to T.I., once the situation started gaining attention, he later advised those around him to keep things calm and avoid pushing the public conversation any further. Despite that explanation, fans across social media have continued debating the situation intensely. Some believe 50 Cent seems frustrated by everything happening, while others argue that this kind of back and forth is simply part of how artists interact in today's online entertainment culture. Several commentators have pointed out that 50 Cent has built a reputation for responding to online conflicts with very bold and sometimes provocative posts, which often keeps the conversation alive across social media platforms. At the same time, the speaker discussing the situation made it clear that their opinion is completely independent. They explained that although some viewers assume they automatically support 50 Cent, they personally see him as someone known for speaking his mind openly and without many filters when responding to situations in public. However, the situation has also sparked comparisons with the way T.I. usually approaches disagreements. Some observers have noted that T.I. tends to handle conflicts differently from 50 Cent based on statements he shared during interviews. T.I. suggested that he largely considers the situation to be behind him and would rather move forward instead of continuing a constant exchange online. According to T.I., if he does choose to respond further, it would most likely happen through music or a more direct public conversation rather than continuing an extended social media back and forth. Some commentators have also started questioning the idea of a documentary being created around the situation, arguing that it could push the public conversation even further into the spotlight. From their perspective, transforming an ongoing disagreement between artists into a full documentary project might not send the right message and could simply keep the conflict alive in front of the public for even longer. They also pointed out that T.I. has faced allegations in the past that were widely reported in the media, though the legal proceedings connected to those claims were eventually dismissed. According to publicly available records, many of T.I.'s supporters argue that he already went through the legal process and that those matters were handled within the court system. T.I. himself has addressed the issue in previous interviews, explaining that the legal cases tied to those allegations were reviewed through the courts and ultimately dismissed based on reports surrounding the outcome. In multiple public statements, T.I. has maintained that the accusations presented in those lawsuits did not match his version of events. He has consistently stated that he chose to deal with the situation through the appropriate legal channels rather than responding through public disputes. Commentators often point out that when topics like these are revived in a documentary or media production, it can easily bring the entire situation back into the spotlight once again. Even if the matters were previously handled in court, presenting them in a film or series can cause audiences to revisit the entire controversy and form their own interpretations. Some observers also argue that when past allegations are highlighted again in large media projects, it can influence how viewers perceive the story, even if those claims were never proven within the legal system. When issues like this are highlighted again in major media projects, some observers believe it can shape how audiences interpret the entire situation, even if those matters were never proven in a court of law. Critics argue that bringing these topics back into public focus during an active disagreement between artists can easily shift attention away from the music itself and toward personal controversy. In this particular debate, one commentator suggested that responding to online criticism or lyrical exchanges by referencing previously reported accusations could push the conflict in a completely different direction. From their point of view, that kind of response doesn't necessarily count as a clear victory in the ongoing back and forth between artists. Instead, it may simply change the tone of the rivalry and move it away from the competitive spirit that traditionally defines hip-hop disputes. They also pointed out that situations like this are not entirely new, noting that the hip-hop world has seen similar controversies before, including other high-profile disagreements that later became the focus of documentaries and media coverage. However, they emphasized that the claims presented in those kinds of projects often remain open to debate. In many cases, audiences continue discussing the accuracy of those narratives long after the films or series are released. Because of that, interpretations of what really happened can vary widely depending on who is telling the story and how the information is presented. The commentator also took a moment to respond to criticism from viewers who questioned their position on the topic. They explained that when they talk about major entertainment stories, their intention is simply to provide an honest perspective rather than openly support one side over the other. According to them, audiences online often assume that creators are biased, but they insist that their commentary is based solely on how they personally interpret the situation.
Coming back with more gasoline. 50 don't play by the rules, man. Most people, they beef. They go to the studio, they make a little diss track. Not 50. 50 go get a camera crew, a director, and a distribution deal with a network just to ruin your whole month. And look, I love Tip.
They also reflected on how conflicts in hip-hop traditionally unfolded, pointing out that disagreements between artists were usually expressed through music or public interviews rather than external platforms, revisiting past allegations that had already been legally resolved. From their perspective, this shift toward online confrontation has sparked debate among fans about the proper way to handle disputes in today's fast-moving media landscape. The commentator added that 50 Cent has increasingly relied on social media and online commentary as his primary method of engaging in these public discussions, a move that many fans have come to expect in recent years. They also noted that 50 Cent has shown little interest in returning to traditional rap battles or competitive musical exchanges, something fans once anticipated from high-profile hip-hop rivalries. Instead, they argue that his focus in recent years has shifted towards social media interactions and entertainment projects rather than back-and-forth lyrical releases. They highlighted that when someone usually outspoken online suddenly becomes quieter about a situation, it often fuels speculation among fans about the strategy behind it. In this instance, the conversation centered around the possibility of a documentary exploring previously reported allegations involving other artists, a development that ignited intense debate across social media. The commentator also reminded viewers that many public figures in the entertainment industry have faced similar scrutiny and controversy, making such discussions a recurring part of the landscape. Many commentators pointed out that public figures in entertainment often face accusations at different times, and in numerous cases, these claims never lead to legal convictions, making the topic especially sensitive when revisited in the public eye. The commentator continued by explaining that turning serious allegations into a central part of a public feud between artists raises challenging questions about the intentions behind it. From their perspective, if such a situation is highlighted in a documentary during an ongoing personal disagreement, audiences may question whether the goal is genuinely to raise awareness or simply to prolong a rivalry for public attention. They stressed that in the entertainment industry, performers encounter allegations at various points in their careers, and the outcomes differ widely. Some matters are resolved through the legal system, while others remain disputed in the court of public opinion. Because of this complexity, the commentator argued that revisiting these issues amid an active artist feud can create confusion for viewers, especially when the facts from past cases have already been legally settled or remain unresolved. They also questioned the timing of giving public platforms to individuals making allegations, suggesting that doing so during a heated dispute can make it difficult for audiences to interpret the situation clearly. According to the commentator,
Open up the door to my bedroom, as you shouldn't have to either. Open up the door to my bedroom for everybody to come in, chime in, and make their opinions about what we do and don't do, should or shouldn't do. But I will say this, whatever we ever have done has been done with consensual adults who into what we into and like what we like. If we want something, we know exactly where to go to get it. We ain't never forced nobody. We ain't never drugged nobody against their will. We ain't never held nobody against their will. We ain't never made nobody do anything. We ain't never trafficked anything.
he explained that moments like this reveal just how fast narratives can escalate in the entertainment industry. Boosie emphasized that outside observers often form strong opinions based on clips and headlines, even when the full context of what each artist intended is still being debated across different platforms. Boosie also highlighted that while disagreements between artists have always been a part of hip-hop culture, the way these conflicts unfold today is entirely different. In the past, responses were typically delivered through music releases or direct interviews, but now a single post or comment online can instantly reach millions and trigger massive reactions. He added that because of this shift, artists frequently find themselves reacting to conversations that expand far beyond the original issue. Fans, bloggers, and commentators all weigh in, quickly transforming a minor disagreement into a major trending topic across the internet. As the discussion developed, Boosie stressed that situations like this often grow bigger than the artists themselves once the public becomes involved. Every statement, repost, or interview clip contributes to a larger narrative that fans try to piece together. He also noted that when multiple high-profile figures are part of the story, attention multiplies rapidly, especially as differing perspectives circulate simultaneously. For Boosie, the key takeaway is that the entertainment world moves at lightning speed. Once a story gains momentum online, it continues to evolve as more reactions and opinions flood the conversation. As this discussion spread, other voices from the hip-hop community began weighing in as well, with some commentators pointing out that moments like these demonstrate just how quickly exchanges between artists can become major talking points across media platforms. Platforms like interviews, live streams, and social media posts quickly started getting clipped and reposted, which only pushed the story further into the spotlight. Several industry observers noted that when high-profile figures such as 50 Cent, T.I., and Boosie are involved, fan reactions tend to intensify even faster. Every new comment or post adds another layer to the narrative, keeping the debate alive across blogs, social media pages, and discussion forums. Meanwhile, radio hosts and online personalities began weighing in as the conversation gained momentum, highlighting just how powerful modern media cycles have become, where a single clip or social media post can spark days of discussion almost instantly. According to multiple commentators, artists today operate in an environment where fans expect immediate reactions. Even minor remarks can be interpreted in various ways by different audiences, fueling speculation. As clips spread across platforms, viewers start forming